You all right? You a little stressed?
Yeah, no. Sorry, I just I crack my fingers when I get stressed. I just pop them real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps, when I'm stressed out about
I
something.
see that. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
Did my thing. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have like something you do when you get stressed?
No. I mean, yeah, but...
What is it? It's not a big deal. What is it? Mace.
No, I don't. I mean,
It can't be weirder than me cracking my fingers,
It's a little weirder than that.
Okay,
You sure you want to know?
sure. Oh. Nah, man, that's cool.
What's going on, all you stressed out strudels? My name is Mason Benjamin Walters.
And my name is Grayson Douglas Sanford IV.
And welcome to The Modern Dude.
A podcast by dudes, for dudes, helping dudes become better dudes.
Stress is a part of everyday life. It just is what it is. It's all around. We have it every day. But there are healthier ways to deal with stress than others. Today we're going to talk about what we can do to combat stress. I'm still blaming you for whatever that intro was.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we had a good time. I feel like that was fun.
Stress-free for sure.
Stress-free for sure, which is the topic of the day. Well, we're in the studio right now. We just recorded a rather heady episode, probably our headiest of episodes to date. It was an amazing...
No, Grayson, we record every week. We don't record them all in clumps.
Just cut it again. We just wanted to have kind of fun with this one. We've touched on stress before on the show in different facets and different ways.
Stress, a fun way to deal with it.
A fun way to deal with it. Because I guess that's the thing, is it's not going to go anywhere. You're just going to continue to deal with stress all the time in your life, constantly. It just is what it is. And right now, I feel like there's waves of stress that come in different times in your life. Like this year is pretty nuts for
the world in general, like we talked about last.
No, I just want to talk about myself. Okay. Don't make me feel bad about it. I was going to talk about you, too.
He always does want to talk about himself.
For example, Mason is getting married this year.
That's actually been fairly stress-free, thank God.
You are not helping me here.
Okay.
I'm trying to find... stress.
There are stressful things. There's been plenty of stressful things in my life, but and in your life. Everyone has stressful things.
For sure.
There's the world, the stress of the world. There's political climate stress. There's family stress. Good God, you can stress about anything.
Yeah. I stress about little things more than anything.
Isn't that the fucking...
I don't stress
the dick
about
of
big
it all?
shit.
Yeah.
Big shit for me is like, to me, I'm like, well, I'll do what I can to stay informed and try to, live life to the best that I can and be a good person and whatever. But like big shit, I'm just like, you know what? Like there's nothing I can do about it. Like I'm just going to have, I don't even mean like socioeconomic. I just mean like in general, like if something big happens where like, and not to like have it go dark here, but like if somebody were to get like sick or something, I'm just like, I deal with it differently. Like I deal with it differently stress-wise than I do like if I wake up one day and I like bump my knee. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is how dare this day try to fuck me over by me bumping my damn.
We've talked about this in
Dude,
facets.
the little things are so.
Yeah, like when I dropped the hot sauce and it shattered.
My God.
I did pretty well with that. But
you did do good with that.
But yeah, I mean,
it's the little things. The little things build up in a crazy way sometimes.
Quinn 92.
Like, it's the little things, baby.
Oh no, that's
Lose the Child
Child
with
sorry.
Quinn 92.
With Lose.
with Lewis the 92, with Quinn the child.
Quinn Child D2.
Shout out Chelsea Cutler, also on that track.
Facts.
It's the little things that like I feel like really get to me. It might be different for other people. There's plenty of people that don't stress the small stuff, and that is not me.
Jealous of those people.
That is not me.
You and I both get super uptight about little things. I got fucking pissed off and uptight. It didn't like stress me out, but those things build to stress.
They do.
Like today, Grayson grabbed a coffee at a coffee shop, and 4 people. I held the door for 4 people, and they walked in, and none of them even acknowledged. I may have just been like the little rubber stopper underneath the door. Like they did not acknowledge my existence.
That's funny.
Like they practically walked through me, and I was just like, I'm gonna murder everyone.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off, and then that builds, and that doesn't help with the stresses of normal day. Like that stuff stacks for me, and then it causes my stresses to be more.
It's a stacking.
Oh
it's a stacking
God,
situation.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why I tried to immediately I was like, well, I mean, come on, man, like. People are going about their day. I'm sure.
Big on manners. I'm just big on manners.
He's very big on manners. And it was like, I'm sure there's been a moment where you haven't, acknowledged or paid attention, and you haven't said thank you to someone who's holding the door for you.
One time.
It
was in 1996.
You were 6 years old. You were like 10.
9.
9
years old. I forgot, and my mother beat me.
There were plenty of other times that
Beat
happened, and that's okay. It's just for perspective purposes.
I have very good manners. Thank you very much.
One's saying you don't.
Anyways, those little stresses, little things build up and they become stress. They feed into stress. You take it
with you. That's the problem.
Yeah, you just hold on to it. It's more so than like little things like that add to stress. Like health stuff. I've had a couple like little annoying health things. A couple separate things that all kind of culminated, and I had to keep going to the doctor for different shit in the past couple months.
Yeah.
And I did not realize how much that was affecting my stress and my mental till recently.
Really
I
good.
finally had like a nice light bulb moment, and I was like, oh my God, this has been wearing and stressing me out so much more than I even knew.
Yeah.
Like it was affecting me on my day to day, but I wasn't really like, I knew it was because it was annoying, but like I didn't realize how deep down the rabbit hole of stress and anxiety I'd gone.
For sure.
And we should say like stress and anxiety are like so hand in hand and practically the same thing. So this is really a stress and anxiety conversation.
100%.
Because the stress makes anxiety, and so like when I was stressed about going to the doctor and how much the fucking bills were going to be, and then I just had anxiety about whenever like I was uncomfortable from whatever like the thing that was hurting me at that point, because I had like a few things going on.
Yeah.
It just like it was nonstop barrage of being uncomfortable, then thinking about trying to make an appointment, then thinking about the money. It just was.
It's not like they make it easy either. They're like, oh, well, you got to talk to this guy because I can only tell you this much and prescribe this thing and talk to this guy. But that guy's closed because this is a 4-day holiday and we're not going to be able to get you an appointment for 2 months.
Literally.
You might be dead by then.
Literally, all
doesn't
these
matter.
things
Like,
besides the dead thing. But it like I had to like step back and be like, holy shit, this really was stressing and wearing on me to the point where I was like really short with people. I wasn't being a good partner in some facets of my life. It was just like my fuse was so short. It affected every aspect of my life.
Sure.
It's so easy to give into that. It's so easy to have a negative outlook
mindset.
On when things start going, when it snowballs like that.
Yeah, well, another thing about stress is when you take it with you, you can take it. It can affect people around you.
Oh.
And that's not something that I think.
One time I just punched Grayson right in the face.
It's never happened. He has headbutted me before though. In college, he used to headbutt me at parties, but that was just because he was drunk, and
that's love. That's how I showed love.
Being a dick.
No, that's how I showed love. Do you have some stressful trauma about that?
Didn't love it. Definitely hurt a few times. But no, I mean, you take it to work, for example, and
gotta leave that shit at the door.
Gotta leave that shit at the door, But it's hard, If you had a shitty day and you come in and everybody's just being hunky dory.
Dude, I literally almost said hunky dory.
Hunky dory, man. Everyone's like,
were you raised by boomers too?
Southern boomers, yeah.
Knee walking, hunky dory.
Knee walking, jack wagging, hunky dories. You go in, everyone's chipper and whatever, and you're just like, man, I just had a shitty day. None of these people have any problems. Their life's not fucking hard. Why are they walking around like they're so fucking happy? Fuck them. Let's just fucking work and get through. But I try to keep that in my head. I actually think I'm very good at keeping my shit at the door. But it's hard. And it's hard because then you have to internalize it. And that's difficult, but it's better than taking it in and just being a fucking dick all night and taking things out on people that don't deserve to be taken out on.
Yeah, because that at the end of the day, everyone has their shit.
Yeah.
Everyone. It is nice to think. The thing that probably got me through, just having some of these health things, I was like, everyone goes through shit like this.
Everybody.
When it is like that, it's kind of my go-to when we're kind of bouncing around and like what the dude got to do. But it does help me when I am floundering or snowballing.
Yeah.
To like, if I take a step back, if I have a moment of just like breathing for a moment and be like, this happens to everyone.
Oh yeah.
We're not alone. You can lean on people. You can.
Tyler's back with the mimosas if you want a mimosa. Sorry. It might help with your stress.
I'm not stressed right now, Grayson.
Sounds like you're getting stressed.
I'm about to be.
Whoa, calm down, bro.
Got you these hands. So there's comfort and there's some solace in knowing that like everyone goes through the same shit at some point in their life. Someone has gone through something way worse probably than like my few things that like were stressing me about I'll probably have to spend like a few $100s on medical bills and like I'm slightly uncomfortable, but for the most part, I'm not going to die,
Yeah.
But you can get really stuck in your head. And I did about being like, what if this is cancer? What if this is blah, blah, blah?
God.
What if it's a tumor?
And don't talk to me about the Google search. Don't do it. But we have to, right? We always do. We always tell each other, don't do the Google search. Don't do it. But we have to. We're sitting there alone.
WebMD, no!
I know, dude. You're sitting there alone in your fucking apartment. You're like,
Awful.
Let me just check so I'll get a peace of mind. It is catered to not give you peace of mind. WebMD was created to make you worry that you are gonna die.
WebMD in and of itself is its own type of cancer.
Oh, yeah, dude. Damn. That's dark.
It's
and
true. It spreads like fucking virus, man.
Because then they're like, because WebMD will say something, and then they're like, here's some other websites that you should click on. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like,
it's not this, it might be this.
It might be this. And then I'm like somewhere else, and I'm like, wow, this one looks even more official than the last one. And this is saying that I definitely have the thing. Holy shit.
Somehow I have chlamydia, rectal cancer, and my penis fell off.
And my penis is falling off. I'm looking at it. It's there right now, but it's dangling by a thread.
It's saying that it's gone.
It's dangling by a thread. Tyler just walked by and disapprovingly nodded his head at the penis dangling by a thread phrase.
Is this going to be a new bit that we just like comment on Tyler's take from the back? We've actually just fabricated this person. He's not real.
He's not. Oh, we're gonna throw him in front of the camera one of these days.
He's been in once.
He's coming back through. More disapproving nodding. That's tough. That's tough. But yeah, like and it's true. Everyone has had these worries. Everyone's had these problems before. You can only do it's difficult because I don't want to tell anybody you should do this, you should do that.
Because sometimes it does like help.
It does, but it does help to like get it out and whatever. But there's two kinds of hell, you know what I mean? There's like the having to go out when you're stressed about something and like go meet friends or go to work or something like that. But then it's like, well, I don't want to go out. That's a different kind of hell because then you're at home, just stuck up in here in the abyss.
I think that's why I'm an extrovert. If I leave myself alone with my own thoughts for too long, I just freak out.
But also, I think there's a lot of, and like I'm sort of a bit more. I'm more introverted than he is for sure. But I'm definitely like an introverted extrovert. When I'm out, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I do like to stay in, and I've
gotten better, but
I've had a lot of battles. You have a lot of battles in here when you're at home, and sometimes I think those are really, really good.
Of course, you have to
face yourself.
Of course,
and talk yourself off the ledge at some point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's also incredibly helpful to get that love and that support from friends at the same time, because there's a bonding experience. They're like, I've been there, you know? Like,
yeah, at the end of the day, we can go on about our different types of stress and what different types. But what really we can maybe help out or you know, is just solving the problem, is fixing the issue. It's like when I was going through like this dark place just the past couple months, when I finally had this epiphany, I started talking, and I talked it out with some people that night when I was like kind of processing. And I talked it out with Mary Grace, my fiance. I talked it out with actually one of the people that I talked out with was a person I just met. She was a stranger, and
that's a classic Mason move.
But it was really cathartic because it was like therapeutic in the way that like you're talking to a therapist. Like,
yeah. They're not biased. They can be like, that sounds bad. You're gonna die.
It's so unbiased. And she was going through a similar thing. Yeah. She'd had some health issues, and we just bonded over it. But we shared our experiences. We fucking talked it out, and it was super healthy. It was really good. We actually exchanged information and I was like, if you ever like want to talk more about this, let me know. And it was very, very helpful. I'm not saying go like walk up to somebody on the street and be like, I need to talk.
Just pull a random person aside and be like, will you help me get through my problems?
No.
They'd be like, I don't have any money, dude.
No, but like there is something. I mean, I was gonna save this for later, but like one of my friends.
Keep going.
A couple of my friends actually have done. What's the name of that? Fuck. Maybe I should have pulled this up before
This is embarrassing.
Said it. BetterHelp.com.
BetterHelp.com.
I wish it's funny because I've heard about BetterHelp.com from podcasts that I've listened to. We are not sponsored by BetterHelp.com. Wish we were.
That'd be great.
We'll shout you out though. Some of my friends have been like, "Yo, it's been super helpful." Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty affordable for what they've told me. But you can do like video call, just phone call. I think you can do just texting if you need. Yeah. Whatever level of comfortability. Like there's the point of what I'm saying. There's BetterHelp. There's a bunch of things like this, I'm pretty sure, that are affordable, but they're also like convenient and they're to your level of comfortability. So like, and like it's becoming more and more okay to like talk about mental health.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing we're trying to do on this podcast is like talk about feelings, talk about mental health, talk about health, talk about irrelevant issues, whatever. But this one is a huge one, especially for dudes. Not many guys like to talk about their mental health or just don't even have the first fucking clue where to begin with.
No. Or like how to even like sit down and be like, recognize the fact that like they are having stress, they are going through something. It's just like
I didn't know what stress was until I started really going to therapy. For Mary Grace and I went to therapy. If you've listened to this podcast at all, I've talked about it. I was like, holy shit, that's what those feelings are. Yeah. That's what that dark feeling in the back of my brain is. That's stress and anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah.
I didn't know, like I heard people talk about anxieties and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's what other people have. And then like I really started talking to people about what that was for them and I was like,
yeah. Oh. Well, there's a huge caveat now, I think, in like society in general, that we are talking about it so much more now. And I think all of it's been very elevated with like the past like 3 years and how kind of insane that's been for just society in general. But I think a lot of people, that opened up a door for a lot more people to talk about anxiety and stress and how they were feeling.
What are you referencing specifically?
COVID.
Oh, COVID. Sorry, you just didn't say it. Sorry.
I feel like when I say over the past 2 years, everyone just goes like, "That's so Raven." Like,
yeah,
but
I'm an idiot.
In the past, she sees the future. Fuck. Anyway, for me, it's like that opened the door to so many people having more conversations because everybody was dealing with something.
Yeah.
In a certain
I just
level.
totally missed it. Sorry.
It's okay. Everybody was. The point is, it's now become a much more open door conversation, and I think I think a lot more people deal with anxiety and stress on a heavier level than a lot of other people do, which I think is a reality. But I think everybody has anxiety to an extent. And it is now at this point a legitimate, and which I do love, a legitimate reason that you can just text someone now and be like, hey, I'm sorry, man, I can't come out. I'm having a lot of anxiety about this thing or something else. And I kind of want to just like stay in. I'm so like, that wasn't like an excuse
Yeah.
5 years ago. Like you couldn't say that to somebody and they'd be like, what are you talking about? Are you like, what's going on? You have anxiety now? What's going on? What is that? And now like everyone's like, dude, I get it. If you got to say, dude, chill. It's okay if you're stressed or you have some like whatever, like do what you got to do. Chill. If you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of that now than like, you can't just cancel the plan because you're like having anxiety. Like they'll be like, what are you talking about, dude? Squat up. Like, get out here. We got drinking to do.
I still say that sometimes.
Yeah, you do that. But that's because you want,
But to be
that'll
fair,
help. Like, you'll be
yeah.
like, come out and talk to me because I'll
Yes.
help you through it, which is like very sweet and nice. But some people need to just
No, for sure.
stay at home.
I think the mental health awareness is definitely on the rise. It's
which is a
definitely-
positive with all of the shitty stuff that's been happening.
Back up against the. Back up against the wall. With our backs up against the wall, it's like we're either going to just die or we're going to like move forward and like try to maneuver through this shit.
Bold statements.
Yeah, because like it was a breaking point. I think
Yeah.
it was a societal breaking point. There's so many horrific, horrible things that happened with the pandemic, and I don't want to downplay any of that. But there's a lot of silver linings that came from it too.
Yeah.
And I think the mental health crisis is one of them, and we are still very much in it, especially with with the school shootings that happen fucking all the time, with all the shootings. There's so many things that still need to be talked about more and more, but with some of the stuff that's happening in the news, you hear about it. It's at the forefront.
Yeah.
The shooting in Texas, one of the things that people are talking about so much from that is like the mental health state of this country is horrible.
I mean,
obviously there's a huge gun problem with that too.
Sure.
But
it's about, if we're talking about stress, it's about
there is
children having to like learn how to hide under their fucking desks.
one of my friends I think I may have mentioned this on here before. They called it ninja training, which is just fucked. Yeah. But yeah, so there's obviously a mental health crisis problem in this country, but the first step is accepting or noticing that there is a problem. Mm-hmm. And I think that is, I think we're taking that first step more.
Yeah.
Hopefully we continue down that road. And this is, podcasts like this and people talking about it more is just furthering that conversation.
Yeah.
So like stuff like BetterHelp.com, like the fact that like you can listen to a podcast. I was listening to a fantasy football podcast, and they were talking about BetterHelp.com, and all three of the guys on there have like, we've actually tried it.
Yeah.
And they swear by it, which is crazy.
I know, it's great.
Like fantasy bros, like football sports dudes talking
Yeah.
about mental health on their podcast and saying that that's worked for them. That is awesome.
Amazing.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And like I've said, I've done it before. I've even thought about doing this thing because I think it keeps you at a more level-headed mind throughout your day, throughout your life.
Yeah.
So that like when you do have a dip, when things do, like I probably could have benefited greatly from. I think mental therapy is like preventative. Some people think it's like, oh, I'm admitting a fault. It can also be preventative. Mm-hmm. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
That's like, I would do it mostly for like trying to keep a nice balance versus like I need to like deep dive into my psyche and like, go over whatever.
No, if you're about to go about your day and you're feeling like, oh shit, I'm having thoughts or having feelings, or even if you're not feeling or having anything, that's even maybe an even more advantageous time to like check in.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, let me check in and make sure, hey, I'm having these feelings, I'm feeling good. Let me make sure, let me like bounce, that off of someone else and go, that's great. Make sure you keep that mindset, make sure you whatever, because that's like a physical representation of the voice in your head and the voice in your head your brain will play fucking tricks on you
it's
all day long. That voice in the head where you're like reassuring yourself is like, can be really great. And also at the same time, like be full of shit. And it's just like fucking with you so hard. So instead of being like, I'm having a good day today, I'm whatever, you can solidify that by talking to a real voice of reason and a representation, like physically, that is like on like something like BetterHelp.com, where you can just like hear someone be like, you are validated in feeling that, and that's very, very good. Keep killing it.
Yeah.
You know? And then you can go, bam, that was from a person, not from this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And that's nice, you know? So that's what's it do to do?
All the things we just said.
All of the things we just said. That's a great tool. We've talked about therapy before, and we know it's hard, but there are things like this that are way easier to get.
This is
accessible.
I've heard this is really. I haven't actually looked at how much it is, but like I've seriously like thought about doing it to the point where like I just need to see if it's like reasonably priced. And from what I've heard from my friends, they said it's like pretty reasonably priced. I might just sign up myself.
Yeah. Make sure you practice little things in your day to day. Make sure.
Just talking to your friends, talking
about
to people.
shit.
Even like having, I know we've talked about this on the podcast that there's some guys just don't feel like they have anyone that they can talk to this stuff about.
Yeah.
But like take a leap of faith on a homie, on a friend that's like
on us.
We
won't let you down.
A licensed professional, a friend, whatever, like talk about some shit that's real. And like you don't have to start being like emotional trauma for when you were a child out the gun, you know, just be like, man, today was fucking shitty. I did this and my boss was railed on me, and man, it like put me in a dark place. Like that's just the beginning, you know, that's like some guys don't do that shit even.
Yeah.
And you just have to.
And it's cool if you cry.
It is cool if you cry. You said it in the funny way, but it is cool if you cry.
It's cool if you cry. I don't know how else to say it. It's just
I literally, honesty hour, when I was this past few months with the health stuff that I was referencing, I got to a bubble point where I was talking to Mary Grace and I was super overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with medical stuff or with like bills, financial things. I got to a point where I just like broke down a little bit. I was just like, I'm fucking overwhelmed.
Healthy.
And she fucking just like hugged me for a bit.
Healthy.
She was like, get it out. I got it out. Felt so much fucking better.
Healthy.
And that was the road to me also having the epiphany. It was within like a couple of days and I was like, okay, we're fine. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We have a plan. Making a plan too. Holy shit. That's actually some really sage advice. Mary Grace was always like, if you have a plan, then you can't get overwhelmed.
Rachel is amazing about those kinds of things. It's been a huge epiphany in my life and my relationships. Not that I haven't liked to plan things, but like planning on life things with another partner, with a person is...
Well, not every person has that.
No, for sure. But like, I mean, doing it for yourself... I mean, I've had to do it myself for large portions of my life.
It's hard to do that sometimes.
And it's hard, but it's also like very necessary.
That first step to being like, okay, what is stressing me out? How do I plan? What can I do to solve the problem?
Yeah.
Mary Grace and I, in therapy, that's one of the things that she fucking told us. Our therapist was like, how do you solve the problem? Mm-hmm. What are we solving the problem? How are you stopping the domino effect?
Right.
And it's planning. It's literally like, okay, what's the first step I can take? All right, my body feels like shit. Something's wrong with my, for me, it was like, I thought it was like a intestinal or a muscle thing in my stomach. I was like, okay, I got to set up an appointment.
Yeah.
Set up the appointment. Go see the doctor. Then he's like, okay, you need to set up a visit with a specialist. And if you have a plan, like it's positive snowballs, you know? So like planning, just doing something for yourself does not only does it do stuff if for me, it was a physical thing, but like it does so much for the mental, just having
huge.
Stress is a bitch.
But we're here to help you deal.
No.
The Modern Dude.
Gotta go.
All right. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this conversation today. I know we did. If you want to visit us on social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anything of that nature, it's going to be under The Modern Dude. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let's discuss, times when you've had stress. times when you don't know how to deal with them, or what you have done to deal with it to bring some light to other people in the conversation. And please visit our YouTube, The Modern Dude, for the full episodes, which you're hopefully doing right now if you're listening to this portion. And definitely like, subscribe there, turn on those notifications, all that good stuff. We love you. We miss you. We adore you. And don't forget, do your due diligence.